So there we go. We have sound now. I don't know why it does that. It kicks off the sound for us. So let me go into the whole speech all over again. Obviously, Rebecca is not here tonight. She is not feeling well. She would have warned me the sound wasn't working. That's her job. So now we have sound. I hope. So Rebecca's not feeling well. She went to bed early. That's why we're not having our top 10 tonight. We were planning on doing the top 10 tonight. We were going to make someone happy and do our top 10 thematic Euro games, which someone's been asking for months now. But it's not going to happen tonight. We hope that it will happen Friday. And myself, I haven't been feeling well the last few days myself because if you've been following our top 10s and Q&As and stuff like that, you know I'm heading down to Panama in 2 weeks, and I had to get like crazy vaccinations, like yellow fever and typhoid and all this craziness. And I had a mild reaction to it, but I'm feeling better today, and hopefully that's all behind me, and I'm ready to go for my trip. But I felt somewhat obligated to come on tonight and tell you guys that, I don't know if obligated is the right word, tell you guys that we're not going to have our top 10 tonight. But I am going to, yes, someone asked, is there 10 thematic Euro games? I guess we're going to find out. So, where was I? I lost track. I got distracted by the chat. So I had a reaction, but I'm feeling better, and hopefully that's behind me, and we'll be good. But we're going to shoot for Friday, but that is all dependent on how Rebecca is feeling towards the end of the week. If she's got just something mild and it gets over it, will be great. But if she has something like the flu or something crazy, then maybe not Friday. Or maybe it'll just be me Friday. We'll have a top 10, Hunter's top 10, and I'll do some silly top 10 like top 10 inserts I like out of the hundreds of games I have. And I'll probably be lucky to find 10. So that's that. We are going to try our best to be at Dallas Games Marathon this weekend, Saturday. We're shooting from like 10 in the morning until maybe 5 or 6 in the evening. But funny, the reason I mentioned that is we had our first encounter. I wonder if they're on. We had our first encounter of a fan outside a convention setting. I was at Game Madness Comics, and someone came up and said hi. And I think they know us kind of indirectly from Dallas Game Marathon, but I want to try to get out there so we can play a game with them. We probably kind of promised them a game this Saturday if we're there. So that is that. So I want to go into what new games we played. We played 6 new games this weekend. So that is like a world record for us lately with our schedules. So we played King Domino. I really enjoyed that. It's super light, family weight game where you have a tile selection thing and you build out a 5x5 grid for a kingdom. Nessa played that and won. Well, she had a little coaching, which ones might be better to buy, but she beat us and she had a blast playing it. So it is super lightweight and it's fun, family weight game. I like the selection, the way the selection works. So you'll have a group of tiles out equal to the number of players, and you'll pick one. Whoever the start players will pick one, the first, second, or third one, and then everyone picks. And then the order that you pick, basically whoever picks the least valuable tile gets the first pick in the next round. So it kind of just chains off of that. So you can use some strategy on what you pick one tile. If you really want the next set of tiles, you can kind of pick which one you want to go there. So it's really interesting how the tile selection works in that. So that was a really cool game. Next one was Thunder and Lightning. That's kind of, I'd call it Stratego, the card game. It's basically the whole goal is to find a specific item that's in the other person's deck. And it's kind of like Stratego where you have ranks of cards and you can kill off the ranks and do things to knock ranks out. And eventually you're going to be forced to put that item into your rank somewhere. And kind of like in Stratego, if you play Stratego, you're looking for the flag. It's very similar. And there's cards with different ranks. But this is better in the fact that you have cards that give you superpowers that do special effects and things. So I like it. It's like gamer Stratego. I really enjoyed that game. It was quite fun. The only minus I can see with that game, the Thunder and Lightning, is that you can conceivably win like in the first turn or two, because If they happen to draw the item that you're looking for into their hand, and you use a power to get something out and knock something out of their hand, you could find it right off the bat. The odds are pretty slim, but you could conceivably win this game really early. But I guess you just shuffle up and play again. I like that one as well. And then we also played Math Flux. That is basically the game of Flux, but it uses math. So a lot of if you play Flux, you have keeper cards, and you're trying to gather the right keeper cards to achieve a goal. But in this game, you use math. So like if the goal is 17, you need a 1 and a 7. There's more advanced versions of the game where, let's say the goal is 24, you could multiply. So you could have a 2, a 1, and a 2, and it'd be 2 times 12, get you to the 24. So it kind of brings a math element into Flux. I'm not a big fan of Flux, but it was somewhat interesting. Next, we played Sushi Go Party. That game was really, really good. If you like Sushi Go, you should go out right now and buy Sushi Go Party, because it takes Sushi Go and adds, like, I want to say 10 or 15 different cards, and you can pick, basically you pick a menu of cards that you're going to play with, and you can change up, every game's different. You can change up which cards you select out of I think there's probably 20 cards, and you pick, I want to say 7 out of the 20. So every game is completely different. You can randomize it. You can go with suggested setups and things like that. It was really, really good. So if you like Sushi Go Party is worth the buy. It immediately replaced Sushi Go, obviously, in our collection. We are going to sell that one off and keep Sushi Go Party because it is really, really good. Then we played Trois, or if you're from America, Troyes. So Trois is kind of a mid-weight Euro game where it's got lots of dice selection, and that game is it's more, I guess, along the lines of I can't think of, but it's a very punishing game. By that I mean it's really basically the whole goal is survival, and then when you survive, you try to make as many points as you can, because there's things that attack you in the game and take your dice away, and it's just a really, really tight game. Gold's tight, the dice is tight. It's just a very kind of a struggle to get ahead in that game. We only played it once because it's a longish game, but it was really, I don't know if I've ever played a game that tight in terms of money and things like that. So it was a good one. I mean, I enjoyed it. I want to play it again. It's one of those games I think you'll get better as you do more plays. And then last but not least, we played Role Player, and I've already played that one. I played that one last year at BGG Con, and I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was amazing, but I knew Rebecca would love it because it's very puzzly, and Rebecca did indeed love it. It was the best. She liked it the best out of the 6 we played. She thought I was just reading her the whole game, but then we were like 2 points apart. And it's just very puzzling. Basically, the whole concept is you're designing a character, you're rolling dice, and you're manipulating dice and flipping dice and re-rolling dice. And the whole point is to build your attributes to your character using dice. And it's just got a lot of puzzle to it. Like, you want certain colors of dice in certain places, and certain color dice are more beneficial depending on your class, and you have a background, and you have an alignment and things like that, and you can get skills and traits. It's really cool little puzzle game with kind of a role play theme to it. So that's what we played. We really enjoyed a lot of those games. The only one that really, honestly, out of the whole group I didn't like is Math Flux, but I'm not a Flux fan, but if you are a Flux fan, that's a good version, I think. If I had to play any version, that's the one I would play. So I want to take a moment and see if there's any questions before I move on. Again, this was just really a kind of a quick update so that you guys know why the top 10 didn't happen tonight. Not seeing any questions. Questions. Any questions? Questions. All right. So someone asked. Okay, we got some questions coming in. Good. So the first question is, what do you recommend teaching very young kids like 4 and up? David, I would suggest watching Nessa's top 10, but her top 10 is geared towards, I think, more like 6, 7, 8 year olds. But for 4 year olds, I would say any of the Hobbit games are amazing. In fact, on the cover, they give a recommended age right on the cover, 2 plus, 3 plus, 4 plus, and anything 4 plus I would think would be perfect. Trying to think of the ones that Nessa liked. She liked Animal Upon Animal, which is really good if they like dexterity games. She likes Coconuts, which is another kind of dexterity game. Nessa liked a lot of dexterity games, so let's see what else she liked. Kids of Catan is pretty good. Spinderella is really good. Let's see. I would watch Nessa's list and just discount the few adult games that she has on her list. So, Animal, so you already have Animal Animal. That's a good one. Trying to think of some other ones she liked. She liked. I guess those are when she was really young. She liked My First Carcassonne, maybe with some teaching would be good. My First Bonanza with a little coaching would be good. Any of the My First games are really good. So I hope that helps. Have I ever done a math trade? I have never done a math trade. I've done virtual flea markets. And that worked out great. I mean, you go online and you bid on games, and then whoever wins the bid, you just meet up with them at a convention. I've heard about math trades. They're kind of hit and miss because you don't really know what you're going to get at the end. So I don't know how much I would like that. I know you give them a list of games you would prefer, but yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how how it works, how the calculation works, that certain games are worth certain points, and the trade. I think they're really cool. I mean, I've heard great things about them. I've just never participated in one. Oh yeah, Tommy said the Star Wars Chewbacca game, which is good. That's another good one. Lupin Louie or Lupin Chewie are great ones. Outfox is really good. I think with a 4-year-old Outfox, they may need some coaching, but that's not a problem. It's a cooperative game, so you work together, so you can work with them to play that game. So I think Outfox would be another good one with a little coaching. What do I do with games I want to get rid of? Honestly, I did not know for the longest time what to do with games. We just kind of kept a shelf of games that we didn't want anymore. But we recently became members at the Dallas Games Marathon, and they have a kind of a flea market. So you go in, if you're a member of the Dallas Games Marathon, you can go and take your game and you put a sticky on it saying how much you want to sell it for, and you put it up on a shelf, kind of like a board game store. And if someone wants to go buy it, they take it off the shelf and go to the front desk, like the reception area of the Dallas Game Marathon, and they pay the money, and then that person collects the money for you, and then every month you just go and get whatever money you've made. You can pull your games off the shelf, reprice them if you need to. Before they didn't require a membership, but they got so many people doing it that they started requiring that. It's kind of a members only thing. Non-members can still do it, but they have to take the games home at the end of the when they go home. They have to take the games with them. Whereas if you're a member, you can leave them on the shelf. So that's our solution. It's worked out fairly well. I mean, it's I find that you got to really discount the games quite a bit to sell them, which is fine. I mean, they're just collecting dust on a shelf. May as well go to someone who liked them, right? So that's what we do. I know a lot of people do virtual flea markets. They go to conventions, and a lot of conventions have flea markets that you can get a table and sell your games. I don't know how profitable that be. I don't know how much you would have to pay to get the table. So I guess some of the smaller conventions, they don't pay anything. You don't have to pay anything to get the table. Some people do the eBay route. Some people do Board Game Geek, do trades on there. Just really depends. We get lucky and we have a local kind of meetup that has an option for us. David asked, have we had the chance to play the expansion to Orleans? We are kind of waiting for the newest expansion to come out because the Orleans, was it Confrontation? I think it has a co-op version and things like that, and that's not what we're really interested in. But I believe the new game offers a new some new things, and the thing I'm interested in is a better board where where you send your people off to do good deeds or whatever it's called. They have a better board for that. So we're kind of waiting for the new expansion. I don't think it's available yet, but yeah, that's probably the one we're going to grab. We may go back and get the first expansion, but really, from what I've read, it doesn't really suit what we want to expand the game with. So, Tommy asked, have we played or do you like any of the Fantasy Flight Games LCGs? We haven't played them. Back in the day, way back in the day, I did Magic. I know that's not an LCG, but and I went crazy, not crazy overboard, but I did probably more than I could afford at the time with Magic, and I haven't really played one since. I know Rebecca really likes them, but she doesn't really like the collectability thing anymore. The only thing she really collects is Star Realms, so no, we haven't played any of those. I mean, it's not really something we're interested in. I did Dice Masters, and that got to be too much too. There's like sets coming out every day, it seems like. So I think we're not really into that too much anymore. Gloomhaven. I think I would love Gloomhaven. Kabuki asked if we've played Gloomhaven or if we're going to get it. No, I don't think we're going to get it. The reason I say is because we really, really wanted to play Descent, but we just found that 2 players doesn't work very well in Descent, and we were going to play with the app, but we just never got around to it. But I hear Gloomhaven works really well with 2 or even 1 player, so maybe. But I'd really like to kind of try it out or see it in action before I buy it, because it's kind of an investment. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things. Kabuki mentioned Star Wars Destiny. That game looks really fun, and I think in another day and another time, I'd really get into that game because it's my kind of game. I really like how it works. I've watched a few live plays of it, and it looks really interesting. But I really don't want to jump into another collectible game again. All right. Any more questions? I really don't have that much more to cover. I just talked with, not talked with, but I chatted with Z, and I'm going to go ahead and do the blender. Me and Drake are going to do the blender tonight and submit it late. Rebecca obviously can't make it, so we're going to do Drake and Hunter board game blender tonight. Kabuki, you arrived late. We talked about roleplay. We played it, and Rebecca really liked it. I'm still kind of meh on it. I mean, it's okay. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I like the puzzle aspect to it, but it just doesn't. To steal a phrase, it just doesn't pop for me. It just doesn't wow me. But Rebecca was really into it. She really enjoyed it. So there is an expansion going live for Role Player on Kickstarter. I'll have to look into that. Maybe Rebecca will like it. All right. So last but not least, we tried out Rebecca versus the Internet this weekend. We played 2 games of Timeline Challenge, and I think it went really well. I think it worked really well. I think the second game went better than the first, just because I figured out you can shorten the delay, and there wasn't as much delay. I mean, it cut. I know we did an unboxing at first, but I bet it took 15 minutes or more off the game just because the delay was shorter. I think I got it. It was originally like almost 30 seconds, and then I got it down to like 10 to 15 seconds. So I didn't realize I thought you could modify the delay, but I never really thought about it. But that helped quite a bit. And we're going to continue to do them. I think we're actually going to try. I think I got an idea of how to play King Domino with the Internet versus Rebecca. So we might try that one out either later this week or this weekend. Tommy said that Rebecca won, so it didn't go well. It came down to the last question, the last challenge both times. I think it was a pretty even game. Pretty even game. I would blame me for losing that challenge that one time. That was my fault. All right. I think that's about it. Like I said, we're going to keep it short and sweet tonight because I'm going to switch gears and record Blender with Drake. We'll be right back. Any questions for Drake? He has an infinite knowledge of board games. So I guess that's going to be about it, guys. If you don't have any questions. Oh, we got a question. You guys know how to keep me talking. Just keep asking questions. Have you ever, David asks, have I ever been excited to bring a game to the table and it failed? Failed. Let me think about this. Something that just totally flopped. I don't know. Let me take a quick peek around my game collection, see if anything flops. It wasn't. It was Drake's favorite game is Ducks versus Loons. So totally failed. I'm trying to think. I think the biggest fail we had, and it wasn't something I was excited for. I mean, really, honestly, the games that failed for me as ones that I didn't really research or know about, or that were gifts. Not to belittle gifts I was given. I mean, I appreciate them, but most people who give me board games don't do near as much research about board games. So some of the ones pop in my head was Mag Blast. That one failed pretty hard. Someone lost before they got a turn. And Among the Stars. The Stars Are Right. I think it's a Steve Jackson game. That game failed pretty hard. I'd say the biggest fail that I was excited for, it just popped into my head, was a Crayon Rails game. I can't think of the name of it. It may have been Iron Dragon, maybe? Iron Dragon? It, first off, I didn't like the crayon aspect at all. I thought that was kind of, I didn't like it at all. But the biggest problem was, if you didn't play your turn right, you could conceivably be in a situation where you don't have enough money to do anything, and there wasn't any way to make money. So effectively, your game was over. So if you played your first turn wrong and didn't budget out your money right, you would be effectively out of the game after the first turn. So we had to give loans to everyone that wasn't part of the game to be able to play. So I was pretty excited about it. It seemed kind of interesting, but it flopped pretty hard. Let's see. Someone asked Drake. I told Drake's favorite game, Ducks and Loons, is his favorite game. More timeline. Let's see what we got. What game have I had for a while that haven't gotten to the table? So here we go. It's a very good question because I have my shelf of shame right down here. They are Valdora, Titans of Industry, Homeland the Game, and the Marcy Case. And the Marcy Case I blame on James Thigpen. Let's see. What do I call the Blender segment without Rebecca? I think I could call it R versus D Showdown instead of RVH. I'll have to dig up that old intro. That's funny. Let's see. Do you think we'll ever do game reviews on the Dice Tower? I would love to do game reviews on the Dice Tower. It's just the time. Even though I don't think our reviews are amazing, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to reviews. I'm not saying that the reviews are amazing, but if I make the littlest mistake, I reshoot, or if I think there's a glare on a card, I reshoot it, and even then it still turns out. I don't know. I guess I want better cameras and stuff. I don't know. It just I'm not disappointed with the stuff we've done for the Dice Tower, but I just didn't feel it was up to par. Maybe. I don't know. But I do want to get back to it, and maybe this summer when the kids and Rebecca are out of school, there'll be more time to do that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, it's H. I said R versus D, H versus D, yeah. What game from 2016 do I still think I will be talking about in 5 years? I'd say 3. Great Western Trail, Terraforming Mars, and Scythe. Those 3. Those are the 3 I think that will still be doing well. And those are my favorite 3 from 2016. That's why I say that, I guess. Have we played Arabian Nights yet? Yes, we did. It was hilarious, but it was really long. I was surprised how long it was. I think you can do a shortened version with going to less points or something, maybe. It was really long, but I really loved it. It was crazy random. I think it was a little too random for that long of a game. I'd like to find a way to make it about an hour long, and then the randomness wouldn't be so bad. So when am I getting Leaving Earth? I haven't got Rebecca to watch the video yet for Leaving Earth. As soon as she does, if she gives me the thumbs up, I will seek it out. And a live play, I think that would be actually pretty interesting, I think. All right, any other questions? I was going to go about a half hour, and we're sitting at a half hour right now. So I need to start getting to Blender. This is making my nose itch. Drake is making my nose itch. I'm allergic to Drake, I guess. All right, so look for, hopefully, a Top 10 Friday, and hopefully, either during the week or most likely on the weekend, Rebecca versus the Internet something. And I'm thinking King Domino. I think I can build a grid so that you can pick, when you pick your tile, when you pick your tile, you can decide where on the grid. You can give me a letter number combination of where it's going to go on the grid. So I think we could play King Domino. I think that would be pretty fun. All right, any last questions? All right, guys. Look for me and Drake Thursday over on the Dice Tower. We are doing Xia, Legends of a Drift System. We'll give it one more second. See if you guys can keep me on for one more minute. And then we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us tonight. I know it was last minute, and really, like I said, this was really kind of a, hey, we're not going to do a top 10, but I figured I'd give you guys some time and ask questions and all that good stuff. What's my current Grail game? I look at the Kabuki keeping me on. My current Grail game. I would have to say Hero Quest. Hero Quest is my current Grail game. But don't tell Rebecca. I'm trying to find compatibility, but I really don't want to pay eBay prices for it. So I've been looking for compatibility for her. Also, another kind of Grail game is Vampire Radar. We want to find that game because that's kind of what started our whole doing videos and stuff. So we want to I want to find that. We both, honestly, Rebecca and I have both been looking for it, and I don't know. My main corporate office is in Japan. Maybe I can get over there sometime. Find a reason to go there and buy it while I'm there. All right, folks, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I thank you so much for joining. Short notice. It's so cool to see you guys on and chat with you. We'll see you online live very, very soon. Bye.